In a world full of people, I cut his young ass down. No one ever understood a single word he said. And they cast him to the wolves when he wasn't well and fed. Boys, we've got a riser in our midst. He will get the last laugh, it's the last thing he did. And he used to roll around in that red dirt mud. Now he's skipping town and that riser's out for blood. Don't stop going south, 'cause they'll let you play your music real damn loud. Don't stop heading south, 'cause they won't understand the words that are pouring from your mouth. And that boy, he called his daddy to tell him what he did, as the masses screamed the lyrics of a messed up kid. And then he told that old man he was never coming back, to be cut down again in a town like that. Then he surely came to learn people come to watch you fall. He's out to make a name and a fool out of them all. They'll never understand that boy and his kind. All they comprehend is a fucking dollar sign. So don't stop going south, 'cause they'll let you play your music real damn loud. Don't stop heading south, 'cause they won't understand the words that are pouring from your mouth. Don't stop going south. They won't understand the words that are pouring from your mouth. Don't stop going.
With that being said, Plattsburgh, I'm going to miss you. I was born in your local hospital. Spent 17 wonderful years growing up with my brother and my mother in beautiful Plattsburgh. Spent the other 12 years growing, working, pounding through school, learning so many things from my uncle. With that being said, this last part is actually a clip of my uncle. It's a little advice he gave to me when we were golfing. He would never go on camera, so I had to sneak this little clip, but it means the world to me, and he's a very smart man. Uncle Jake, I love you. Plattsburgh, I love you.
What do you mean, though? I'm gonna take a picture of my brain.
See, I'm never one for way people look. Because you look change from day to day, from thing to thing. I really think of you, like when I think of Lori, I think of the sign when she was smiling, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got 2 or 3 of them. She was about that high. She came out and it was Christmas. It's just the most beautiful thing, you know what I mean? Those are the kind, and I have no picture of it.
Yeah. Just what you have in your...
You know, no matter what the picture looked like, they'll never be able to change that in my brain. That's what I mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I'd like you to remember me. Just remember me as a good time. Remember seeing me. That's whenever you think Uncle Jake.
Yeah. No, those matter too. It does. It's usually what I do. That's what helps me sometimes a lot too. It's just... What did you like think? What was going through your head when like you and Aunt Susie first moved? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you were my age and you and Aunt Susie moved away from family and all that for the first time, like...
We were thinking we were on an adventure, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was nice because you had someone to do it with, for sure.
I mean, it's the same you're doing, though. You're going on an adventure. You're going over to see, I assume, somebody you know.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so if nothing else, it's just a nice visit, right? And you just come back, or you'll go somewhere else. So you decide to, call a friend somewhere else and say, hey, where are you? And
yeah.
you say, I'm in Wyoming, or I'm in Chicago. And you say, I'm going to be there. You're going to be around?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah,
the only thing you got to do is just, no matter what you do in life, CJ, it's always choices, right? You know what I mean? So you got to stop and think about your choice. So if you're going to go out there, are you going to spend all your money right away? No, you're going to save enough so that you can go somewhere else.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? If you want to. Someplace you feel safe. Always, that's the way I always was. Okay, for me, I always felt safe in Peru.
Yeah.
It didn't matter
Yeah.
where in Peru.
Just because you
As
knew.
long as I
yeah.
knew I was in Peru, I could go, yes, I'm
Yeah.
sane again. You know what I mean? So I just always make sure, no matter where Aunt Susie and I went, I had enough money that I could get in my car, or I could take a plane or a bus or
Yeah.
whatever, and
Get back home.
be back in Peru. I didn't
But
know
that-
but and I knew
Yeah.
once I got here, it's just like now when you're living here, there's always a job here. It might not be a job you like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
might be throwing bales of hay, or it
But
might
the
be
opportunity's
shoveling
always
shit, but there's
there.
something here you can do, and there's
Yeah.
people you know, and you know what I mean?
No, for sure. That's a good point.
So that's,
I mean, my point. I don't want to come. Well, I'm not doing it for like an adventure. I'm doing it for like a new beginning. Like
Well,
I
that's
learned a
what
lot
it is.
about myself here,
mm-hmm.
and I want to take the things I learned and try them somewhere else. Pretty
Sure.
much. You know what I mean?
Sure.
With new people, where I can start new, fresh relationships. And
Yeah.
It sounds stupid, but
No, it
it's like.
doesn't. No, it doesn't, CJ. Everybody wants to get away and see what it's like.
Yeah, if at least, like you said, there's always chance to come back. There's always, if you need home is here. Like I said to Aunt Susie, I'm gonna still text you guys. I'm gonna send you guys packages. I'm gonna send you guys stuff, and it's it. Like I'm not like most of our. I'm not gonna move away and just completely forget about you guys and not.
I don't think people forget about it, CJ.
You guys are probably confused. It's not a big deal to you. My Uncle Jake's like a rock. He doesn't open up. He's just there. If you need protection, if you need someone to hold you down, he's just always there. And the hardest part about this move is going to be my Uncle Jake, because he's been my dad throughout my whole life. And it's hard to tell him when you're there because you just want to listen. It doesn't seem like I'm listening, but trust me, it's just because I'm trying to capture everything he's saying because it's so important to me. Please, Jake, I love you. You're literally my father. He's always been there for me. Anytime I was in trouble, I'd make a call and he'd be there. And this is just like a little memory so I can have. And it's unfortunate that it's a 40-second clip. It's unfortunate that's the only type of manifest, the type of visible memory that I have. I can always remember, but it's just I'm a visualizer, and just not being able to see him anymore or anything, it's just gonna hurt. But Uncle Jake, I'm doing this to prove to you that I'm a good man, doing this to prove to you that I've grown up and that you don't have to help anymore. I just want you to know I love you, and I appreciate everything you've ever done, and I wish you and Aunt Susie the best. I love you.